We have a real cool episode for you today. Just want to continue off the last couple days, talk about some movement, what we've seen, some trades we're going to have. I deepened my bench, my bullpen, so to speak, of basically trades that I'm waiting to do, but I got to find the right thing. So there's the stocks that I'm ready to pull the trigger on. That way I don't have to keep doing research over and over again. Some of them I pulled the trigger on, some of which I didn't. So real quick, I talked to you before how all of this was about earning enough money to pay for law school and get that beach house. Well, this week I actually started law school. So, it's orientation. I guess it is law school, but we're not actually in a lot of classes. But insane, crazy, just filled with some of the smartest people you ever, like if you ever thought, okay, I'm going to go to a room and 30 people, whoever the smartest one or two people are, this whole place is filled with those people. So kind of nuts, kind of crazy. I just realized I have to bring my A game, but it's going to be fun. So it's definitely going to be worth it. And what we're doing today is basically paying for it. So the question is, what do you want? What is it? Is it a car? Is it a house? Is it buying like your mom a house? What is it that you're looking to do? So having that really keeps you focused, keeps you really on point, and making sure you're doing the right things and measuring toward the right end. I have a dollar amount for law school that I need to make sure that I hit after taxes and everything else that comes in. And so it keeps me very much focused on kind of where I want to be. So with that being said, I just want to show you a quick article and then we'll get into the meat of everything. I got this today, Yahoo Finance. And we don't always invest. We don't really invest in the S&P 500, but it was interesting. So we talked a lot about the Delta variant, how if you look at England and some of the other countries, it lasted about 3, maybe 4 weeks, and then it kind of everything cratered back down. And they, even for cases, when they focused on cases which are meaningless, they started to go down as well. So we're starting to see that as well. The S&P targets are rising left and right. One of the things they wrote here was Starbucks. They have their holiday themed cups out now, which of course they do. Wall Street strategists have been issuing revised outlooks of how high the stock market could be traded in the months ahead. And it says, within the last month, no fewer than 4 Wall Street shops have either initiated or revised higher S&P price targets for this year and next. So what that means is, basically when they say Wall Street shops, think of the movie or the TV show Billions. These are hedge funds, people with ridiculous amounts of money, people that have to be right. People where somebody sticks $500 million in their hedge fund and they said, I need a return of 10%. And if you don't give me 10%, I'm going to take my money to this guy over here who says he'll give me 10%. So anyway, so it said basically they initiated or revised the price targets for their S&P 500 stocks for this year and next. What's interesting about that is that it's this year. So everybody's thinking, oh my gosh, Delta, everything's going down. You listen to Fauci, he's telling you like, oh, we're not going to get back. Okay, I got to do Fauci. Yeah, we're not going to get back to normal till next year. And, spring of next year, maybe at the earliest, And it's like, no, Wall Street's saying, no, we're adjusting them back up. They kind of know what's going on. Watch the show Billions and you understand that there's a lot of either inside information going on or the analytics is so insane that they can read between the lines and see things coming before anybody else does. So anyway, they wrap it up and say that while the annual exercise of forecasting the year ahead is typically reserved for November, December, it seems that this market, Wall Street, just can't wait. And it's not that they can't wait. They'll do it as soon as possible. Like they're not going to go, oh, I see what's going to happen next year. Let me wait 3 months and then I'll do it. No, nobody does that. They said, oh, I can see what's happening. We're doing it right now because we need to beat the competition. So with that being said, do we see it in our portfolio? And we've talked about the last week. Let me close down my email. And we start to see where we hit kind of bottom right there. And then we'll just expand it out. And by the way, my Robinhood's definitely faster than it was yesterday. That was kind of embarrassing. Go 3 months. Not that I'm going to look at the whole 3 months. So in July, we're sitting up here at about 200,000. And it got all the way down to about 116. And we see it bumped up. And we're all the way back up to 145,000. So in the last month, we're up about 7%. And the last week, we are up 20 grand. So 17%. So we're on our way up. So with that being said, we saw our margin go up, and let's see, it actually went down a little bit today. It was over at like 104,000. I think, it's probably just because I put some limit orders in. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about that and, what we're planning on doing. So specifically, here's your little hint, your little teaser. I have about 12 grand in limit orders ready to go. So one of the things that we looked at today, and we'll just kind of go in a backwards area. So specifically, we had Soho, which is Southern Hospitality or hotels or whatever it is. They do upscale hotels. Red Robin we talked about yesterday, and then we added Reading International and Ashford Incorporated. So specifically, one of the things I looked at these is I went back to this chart that I have, and if you haven't downloaded this chart, it's actually really helpful, and you can kind of go through it in more detail than what I do in the video. Okay, so I have this chart because I wanted to see what the Delta variant did, right? And so I took basically, for those who haven't watched it, what we started, I said start of month, but really it's start of July, right? So what we started in July, and Delta variant hit like second week of July, and then kind of where it's at since then. So it's been a little bit over a month, right? And so we look at who has had the biggest drop. So I'll keep this right here. So let's highlight this because I always sort it. I'm not sure why is this doing this. All right. There we go. So we looked who took the biggest hit. Ashford Hospitality Trust. Part of it was a stock reverse split, but then we look at the other ones here and kind of where things at. So some of them are about 20% negative. That's kind of about the average. And then we have Bitcoin Cash is up 31%. And then we have our gaming. Basically, the next five best stocks performing since then are all betting stocks. 19% for Golden Entertainment, DraftKings up 15%, Penn National Gaming up 4%, MGM is about break even. And actually, let's sort this because this changed. Century Casinos rather is basically break even. MGM is basically break even. So, and then we have Caesars Entertainment and Every up here. So a lot of them are just the gaming stocks, and we haven't even hit football season yet. So I got two fantasy football teams that leagues I'm playing in. One drafts on the Saturday, one drafts on all the way on September 8th. So like it's the day before the season starts, and that's where I think we're going to see a lot of movement. So one of the things I looked at here is I basically have, for those who haven't looked at this is the percentage change since Delta. And then this is actually what our return is. So for example, if we go to our holdings and PBF, which is an oil stock, is up 9%, right? So then we go back to here and we see it's up 9%, but it's down 36%. So if this were down 0%, this would be up another 36%, it'd be up 45%. So what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, if Delta took all these to zero, where would they be? So for example, we look at skills, it would basically be break even. If you added 50% to negative 50, you'd be about break even. If you add 36% to 9, you're at 45%. If you add 31 to negative 13, you're about 20-something percent, 19%. And then this one here, it's down. I'm pointing at the screen like you can even see that. This one's down 30%, but it would still be down 30%. So I want to kind of see what can give me the greatest bang for my buck and what can give me the greatest flexibility. So I looked at a few of them. I could do PBF, and I was thinking about doing that because that's an obvious choice. But then I looked at PBF, and I already have 9 grand invested base there, which doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, but I'm like, all right, that's a yellow light. We'll hold on to that. So let's look at the next one. AINC. We looked at that. If we add 31% of that, we'll be up 17%. And so I thought, okay, well, that's definitely worth looking at. So where am I as far as ownership of that? Another 9 grand, but it has better numbers than PBF. It basically has a more of a better impact on kind of where I'm at as far as the numbers go. And it's a travel stock as opposed to an oil stock. So Delta's going to affect it. Delta's, when it goes away, is definitely going to impact it for sure in a positive way as far as the oil stocks go. But for Ashford, which has hospitality and resorts, it's going to affect it even more. So I decided we're going to go ahead and put in an order for AINC at 1450. It's sitting here at 1560. Again, if I have a day where it goes down, I don't want to eat the loss. I'll let somebody else eat the loss and I'll pick it up at 1450. If it goes up, hey, I have no problem with the value of my stock going up. So then we went down to the other ones, and I wanted to kind of initially look at the ones where it's red over here and not here. So I went down to RDI, which is Reading International. And so let's take a look at Reading. Because movie theater stocks are kind of interesting. So we look at them. I started from a year. I just wanted to get a base sense of where we're at. Generally up in January. It was kind of crazy in the beginning of the year, and then everything opened up in June, and it got up to about $7 a share, $7.50, and $7.50. And I thought, okay, well, it just hit down at $4.72, and it's sitting here at $5. So if it gets up to $7.50, just simple math, it goes up 50%, which is right where it was before Delta hit. And I'm like, dude, that's free money. So one of the things that I looked at was I went up here and I realized I only bought $3,000 of it, and it's only up 8%. So I'm like, dude, that's definitely what I want to do. So I thought, okay, we'll put it down at 490, and it actually might hit there soon. And actually, let's take a look where my 490 was. So we'll go back to a month, and I might even just adjust this a little bit further because it's sitting here at it's close to 5. I don't necessarily need to buy it. Well, I'll do 490 because I was looking at right here. I've kind of where it was here right before this crater, it hit 490 and it went back up to 490. So I'm like, all right, if it hits there, this will be a break even because nothing ever happens there, and then it'll just be an uptick. So that's one of the kind of the reason I decided to do that. So on top of that, we added Ellis Gaming as well. And I look at this one. Did I even own? I don't think I own this right now. I used to own that one, so I thought, okay, that's going to go on the bench. Full House Resorts is one that always perform well. So we set that down another, this one's got to drop another 8.3% before that gets bought. Target Hospitality does oil fields, like basically accommodations and food service and all that fun stuff for that. So that one always did pretty well for me. I think I bought it for $2 or $3 and sold it for $7.35, I believe. So it's down back to $4. So it's like, all right, let's just ride that train again. Dave & Buster's as well. We'll put that on the bench. Red Rock Resorts has done really well. Check this out. So this one hasn't even gone up or down, if I'm remembering this right. So we'll get for the year. And Red Rock Resorts has just gone up consistently. So got up to a high of 46. It's sitting here at 46 right now. It's at an all-time high. We look at it for 5 years, so we look at it pre-COVID, and it's just gone up. So this one has just been awesome. Like, now, would have I bought it at $7 and sitting here at 46? That'd be beautiful. And I did own it for a little bit, but I thought, okay, if it goes down to $38.50, and again, it's got to go down about 20%. So odds of it coming through are probably not great, unless we have a bad day or bad week or whatever. But we'll put that one as well. Clean Energy, which is a Biden stock. It's down 20%. I have about $6,000 in it, and I figure, okay, let's go ahead. If it gets down to $7.50, then we'll put a buy-in on that. It's basically 4%. So I actually might. I think I'm actually going to adjust that downward. I want to make it difficult for this stock to get bought, and if it does, it's going to be on my terms. Golden Entertainment, which I actually sold recently, just to clear some margin space. It's sitting here at 53. If it goes down to 45, I'll buy it. And if it doesn't, so be it. But Golden Entertainment, I only had 850. I have 2,600 on here. So what I might even do is just increase. If I buy it, I might actually make sure. Let's take a look and see how much I would buy this for. So no, I would actually want to buy more. All right, so we'll just leave that there. So we'll see what happens. DraftKings, same thing. It's sitting here at 60, and if it goes down to 50, which is a 20% drop, I don't think that's going to happen. We'll put a buy-in for that. But right now, I didn't buy much of it. So I think what we're going to do is, what did this be? $3,000. I think. What if I did 100? Yeah, so I think I'll change that up a little bit. So we'll take a fresh look at that, make sure those are there. Hall of Fame resorts against the football stocks, I like to say it's at 324. I'm going to put a buy in at 280 potentially, but it has to go down 15% for that to happen. And then Cinemark, the same thing, 1575. Got to go down 8%. But again, it's not an active buy, so kind of we'll see what happens with that. But they're not active buys, so you know what? I'm gonna leave this here just a reminder, but I don't really need to change anything because that's where we're at right now. So let us see here. Is there anything else? No, I got to do RDI, so we'll put this in here and we'll take that off because we don't need to do that. All right, so with that being said, projections, we're basically projecting out about 271. We're about 53% right now, and that's considering Delta variant. So when we start to see things bounce back, and football season and sports and start to get Q3 numbers in, we'll start to see some big numbers come in. Again, one last thing before we head out, I do have my sales, things that'll sell on my terms when I get there. And they basically, the first one would sell would be Variant, but that one doesn't move a whole lot. The rest of them have to sell 20, 30, 40, and 50% for me to sell them. I just want them on the table. So if we have some crazy day where it shoots up real quick and then drops down, I can take advantage of that. So with that being said, if you have any questions, let me know, but that's kind of the gist of things. We talked about keeping your powder dry. Well, now's the time to really start making moves. So with that being said, we'll talk to you soon. To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.